Greetings and welcome to the Wealth for Real YouTube channel. I'm your host, Christopher Anastasio. It's Friday evening, December 8th, 2023, and welcome back, guys. I wanted to make this video for you about Generation Z's plans to retire. And this was actually a tweet I saw a couple weeks ago, within the last couple weeks, on Unusual Whales. I'm actually on Unusual Whales' website here now, not necessarily their Twitter account where I saw this. But this was the tweet right here in question that you see in purple. And I'll just read it to you. Gen Z plans to retire the soonest of all generations at age 54 per Empower. 72% of millennials and 67% of Gen Z say money can buy happiness per Empower. So that was the tweet. And then you see here on Unusual Whales site, there's some other exposition about like a survey or a study they did about, return on happiness, things like timely bill payment, freedom from debt, affording daily luxuries, home ownership, spending with loved ones, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a little bit more to it here, guys, if you go to the website than just going and finding the tweet. But it was something I, don't want to linger for a long time about it, but I did want to make a video about it because it just caught me off guard. I was like, they want to retire when? And the reason I say that, it's no knock on them. I'm rooting for Gen Z. I hope they do it even sooner than that. I hope they redefine the entire landscape as far as what it means to be successful, pursue happiness, money, all those things. I think that needs a total reconfiguration in our society. But so it's not about them, but it's the metric that caught my attention. The reason I say that part specifically about the metric is I see all kinds of other metrics, including ones put out by Unusual Whales. No knock on them. I think they're kind of reporting the news here versus coming up with anything on their own as far as this thing goes. But I think the issue here, guys, is back to what I was saying about metrics. There's all kinds of metrics about how, nobody has any money saved for retirement. Everybody's off track for retirement. The amount of money that Americans think they're going to need to retire is grossly underestimated. I mean, these are the types of metrics I'm seeing 9 times out of 10, right? Gloom, doom. It's never going to happen. I think one of the more recent ones I saw was about my generation, Generation X. And it was something like, the average Gen Xer has like $200,000 saved for retirement. When they're within, 20 years of retirement, they're not even close to being on pace. I personally, not even close to being on pace to retire with the amount of money I'd need to create the income, sort of throw off, to sustain myself when you factor in all the inflation that will have occurred by the time, let's say about 20 years from now, that I'd retire. I mean, today, in my late 40s, we have a national debt hovering around $34 trillion. Where's it going to be in my late 60s? Probably, close to the $100 trillion mark. I mean, no joke about that. Okay, probably somewhere in the what would that be? 14-figure range. And what's the interest on that going to be? And how much money are we going to have to print to pay that interest? And so my sense, guys, is that retirement writ large, name your generation, is a concept that's over with, okay, for 97%, okay? I'm just throwing sort of a roundish number out there, for all but the very wealthiest class that is benefiting, wildly from inflation, and their returns from inflation are compounding and things like that. Totally separate argument and topic there in terms of what the future lies ahead for them or holds for them. But for the rest of us, that lower, 96, 97, 98%, we're just going to keep falling behind further and further. And so when I saw this tweet, it really caught my attention because I was like, how is this physically possible? I mean, I just don't even see how it's, no matter how hard they try, no matter how diligent they're being, I don't know how in God's name they could make this happen. Okay. So, and like I would note that down here, okay, so here, okay, I actually kind of missed this at the beginning. They believe money can buy happiness with the perceived price tag being $1.2 million. I guess that's sort of saying that's what they think they're going to need later in life, around 54, to live off of. Well, today, if you got 5% on 1.2 million, that's $50,000 a year that you're going to get in income off of 1.2 million. I mean, today, that's nowhere near enough. Okay, nowhere near enough. If you want to do any of the types of things they're talking about here. Now, if you just want to go in a box somewhere, pay your utilities, and eat ramen noodles every night, that probably will get you by and you'll have some left over. But if you're doing all the types of things they're talking about in here, this isn't even close. This is not even close, guys. I mean, maybe take the decimal away, maybe, and you'd be back on track for, retiring, 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. But I wouldn't even count on that. So anyway, really interested to hear what you guys have to say about this, what you think of it, if you think it's completely delusional, or if you have some other take on it. We'd love to hear it. But this really caught my attention. I just do not understand how anybody could think this is actually possible at the stage that we're at the rate that we're going. So in the meantime, guys, I want to say thank you to everybody watching this, everybody who hit the like button, shared the link, dropped a comment, subscribed, any of those things. It's all very, very meaningful to me. Just really passionate about this subject, and anybody else who comes along for the ride, I really, really, really appreciate it. And thank you for your support of the channel. So I hope everybody has a great weekend and a great night, and we'll talk to you guys again real soon.